All right, Rob, you walked into the studio this morning. Hey, everybody. WKRP in Montrose. Welcome back. We are
we not dropping the in? I thought we were dropping the in.
Did we? I thought we hadn't even made a decision totally on what the name was going to be. Or we have what the acronym was going to stand for.
Well, no, we haven't decided that. But
okay.
On the logo.
All right, stop. I'll go back. You ready?
No, it doesn't matter.
No, it's too late. You already asked for it.
Keep it in. This is fine. This is debate. This is real life.
Real life happening.
Yeah.
In the moment.
Before your eyes and ears.
Isn't that, what is that called? There's a word for that. Come on, English major.
Come on.
All right.
Carry on.
You were saying something about there was an interesting listing.
Yeah.
That just showed up on Facebook. So
you're not listening to this the day we record this.
Right.
But this morning I noticed San Juan Coffee House, the building.
Didn't you just say we shouldn't do anything that's time sensitive because we are pre-recording it?
Don't worry about it.
I thought you said that.
Yeah,
and then you opened up
in terms of events and things like that. This will probably be valid in a few weeks or whenever you listen to this. And if it's not, ignore it. Who cares? San Juan Coffee House on Main Street is for sale. The building and the business. By Dennis's friends. Yep. It's okay coffee.
This coffee is good coffee.
Your team at Next Home
All Coffee is good coffee.
Anyway, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, the business has been here, I don't know, a few years, and
so Jessamy and it's their listing.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, it's kind of, I think someone.
Would you buy a coffee house?
No.
Why would you not buy a coffee house?
I don't want to work in like retail. I don't think
you don't want to deal with people
or the food industry. I think
I don't think you're polite enough to do a service-based industry. Do you ever wait tables?
Fuck you, Dennis.
What do you mean?
Oh. I've been a bartender.
Did that just prove my point?
Well, I think that was my point. I've been a server. I've worked in kitchens and been a.
I can see you working in a kitchen. I can see you being Gordon Ramsay.
And a bar. I've been a.
You'd make a good Gordon Ramsay.
I worked in an Irish pub.
You just don't have the blonde hair. You've worked in an Irish pub?
Yeah.
Do they work in an Irish pub?
You're opening a can of worms.
You're just kind of like hanging out, right?
Yeah.
It's not really working per se.
Yeah.
Anybody can pour a pint of Guinness, I think.
All right. I mean, what's that number again so people can berate you?
970-316-3162.
And I know what everybody's thinking.
I think I got that right.
He's just saying this to get people to call in. And that could be the case.
I mean, it might be.
But
if I riled you up enough.
Anyway, it's interesting. It's interesting that not so much that the building is for sale. Buildings come and go, but that the business
that a staple of Main Street
is for sale.
Is for sale.
So what's
and
going on?
They just started the Forge restaurant in there too.
Yeah, and
so is Forge and San Juan Coffee House? Well, San Juan Coffee and business. The building. Well, is it really? Because
John and Davina. Yeah, I'm sure, but they also have two other locations. There's one in Olathe and one at the airport. So, John, Davina. Let us know what's going on.
Yeah,
everyone's going to be curious.
Give us the words
sure.
up.
So,
970-316-3162. Text, leave a message, whatever you want. WKRP Montrose.
Not whatever you want. Those are the two options.
We got to figure something out. Okay, so I'm watching the video. The camera's over here. That's my camera. Hi, camera. Your camera's over there. But I did this backwards because when I look at you, I'm going to look at you. You look at me.
Do I?
We're looking in opposite direction. We're looking in opposite directions.
Oh, so you've messed this up. All right.
Well, I mean,
good work.
It is what it is. You told me don't mess with video. I wouldn't listen.
No, exactly.
That's going to happen anyways.
So before our guest gets here today, the little nod to that guest is the raggedy hat that I'm wearing.
You know what's nice about the video is that it's not 4K. Oh. And so you don't look as raggedy on the camera, and the hat doesn't look as raggedy. But the hat has a feature that you really like.
Yeah, well, there's a hole in the top, so it is a little raggedy on the top. But I really like this feature because, and we'll ask him why he decided to include this feature. But every time Tim does something to annoy me, I just take his business logo off this hat.
You got to show it to the camera. Get a little closer. Yeah. Okay.
So-
Adrenaline vans.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure why that's a good feature. Perhaps it's a van thing or it's a mullet thing.
Well, you could have. I bet he bought the hats, and then like that leaves. If you bought a whole bunch of them, and you ever decide to change the logo,
Yeah, but
then you can change the logo
surely
easily.
it kind of defeats the purpose.
Okay. Whatever you say.
Well, we'll find out.
You don't want it. What you're saying is, if you give somebody a free hat that's swag that has your logo on it, why would you give them the opportunity to take the logo off?
Yeah. I mean, it looks stupid without the logo. Then it's just a patch of Velcro.
So there you go.
But we'll ask
Who's going to take the logo
We'll
off?
ask Tim,
All right.
the shrewd businessman that he apparently is.
How did you meet Tim? Or should we talk about that before he gets here?
No, let's talk about him before he gets here.
Let's talk about him.
Yeah.
Like, say all the things that you won't say in front of him.
Oh, I'll say them all in front of him too. But I just like the idea that he can't respond.
Oh, okay. Is it weird that we get the show started and there's like an empty couch that's like the main part of...
I don't know.
Hi, couch.
We'll see.
I wish people could really understand how big the wheelie nice couch is.
Yeah.
The wheelie nice couch.
It has wheels. Dennis doesn't have a speech impediment, although he does often mess things up.
Yeah,
So maybe
that's
he does.
true.
No, the couch has wheels. It's very...
So it sits up off the ground.
Yeah.
And when
it's
everybody...
good.
When everybody sits in it, they look like the couch from Pee Wee Herman. Like,
So this is the thing. Normally, if you want to intimidate somebody, right, you put them on... You put them on a smaller seat so you look down on them, right? If you want to do that.
Yeah.
This has the same effect actually. So they sit up higher, but half of the people that we've had on so far have their legs dangling like they're like an 8-year-old. Which is, it makes me laugh. It's funny. In fact, I think it would be great if that could be adjusted, just like a standing desk
to be even higher. Wait a minute. Is there somebody coming through the door? There he is.
Oh God!
Oh, look at him.
Look at him. He's like a walking ad.
And see, this is going to make sense because the sound happened before the man even sits in the
red carpet.
There's no red carpet. There's a nice couch. It's a wheel. Oh,
First time.
First injury in the studio.
You need to see a copy of your insurance.
Yeah, we didn't even get the chance to hand him the waiver yet.
I know. What a fucking imbecile he really
What
is.
is this fucking couch?
So
What's the crispy stuff on here?
You're the second person to say that. People are going to start getting.
It's the
like,
casting couch, bro. This is
it is
weird.
the
Why am I on the couch?
it's the crispy casting couch.
This is going to be a toxic
Yeah.
episode.
Oh,
It's already headed that way.
I prefaced my agreement to this bullshit by the fact that I could cuss and give him shit.
Cursing is available.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tim also didn't necessarily realize, because I forgot to send this message, but he also agreed by walking through that door to allowing us to sample his voice and use AI to have him say whatever we want.
People are already doing that.
Yeah.
So I'm used to it.
Well, I
with,
guess
you, with you.
Yeah.
Why would they do that with you? I mean, let's be honest. You're not,
I'm kind of a big deal.
You're not an A-lister.
People know me.
You're not even an A-lister in Montrose.
I have many leather-bound books. My apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Are they actually books or are they like VHS cassettes in them?
Yes.
Leather-bound VHS.
those two statements didn't go together. They were
It's
hilarious.
Anchorman, guys. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know, but my apartment smells of rich mahogany.
Yes.
Your apartment smells of dirty socks.
Yeah.
I've been
Your
in-
apartment's on wheels.
My work wife has not been doing my laundry this week.
No.
She's been off. So,
So
I have a true apartment now. I got a real apartment.
Did
Yeah.
you? You got a permanent place?
I've got a
Why would you
multi-million
go
dollar
do that?
apartment.
Why would you do that?
Multi-million dollar apartment.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
because
balling out
it's-
like
it-
that.
It sits above.
I was about to say it's in your shop. It's above your shop.
It's baller.
It's a pretty badass
I
building.
mean, he's seen it.
Oh, yeah.
He's seen my wardrobe, my very diverse wardrobe.
Yeah,
Black
it's-
shirts.
Yeah.
It's like
Black hat.
if Steve Jobs ran a van company,
Uh-huh.
that's what it is. It's what he's wearing now times like 30.
That's it.
I
Jesus,
can't believe
like
we straight gave him a black eye before he even got
Dude,
started.
I'm
himself
crying
a
over it.
black
It's,
eye.
yeah. What the hell?
So we have a question first and foremost. You'll notice the hat.
Yeah,
I'm wearing.
nice. Wow.
It is raggedy. I was kind of thinking
Because you threw it in the fucking pile of clothes and forgot about it for a year. And you're like, oh shit, we're gonna have him on the show. I should pull it out.
No, working outdoors. I purposely wear this. I
You
was hoping
and
there was some
working-
swag, and he came in empty-handed. Our last guests, they
No,
came with a
they're-
cooler full of beer.
Yeah,
but
well-
whatever. Yeah, stuff's in the van. Blah blah. Go on. Mm-hmm. the question is the feature of this hat, explain how it's a positive feature that I can just tear your logo off this hat whenever I want to.
Yeah, because you can give it to people to spread the word.
So I do.
Yeah, you do that, and you're like, here, have a cool badass patch that you can throw away and forget about.
If it was a magnet too, then possibly you take it off and it's a Velcro magnet. I'll put it on my fridge.
We actually have new hats coming this month that they're sewn on, so people like you can't rip them off and throw them away.
So it turned out that this was not the best idea.
No. I didn't come up with that idea, by the way. So thank you.
God, the boss pass in the buck.
Yeah.
Blame somebody else. It wasn't my idea.
Yeah, I didn't do it.
Let me guess. The good ideas.
I just wrote the check.
The good ideas are yours, though, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Is it going to have? Is the new style going to have some of the flamboyant colors that you've got on the Vans?
No, but they're full custom. So they have like a custom taping on the inside, the little custom tag on the back where the closure is.
Okay.
A sewn embroidered patch on the or a emblem on the side of the flag is sewn, and then like a PVC that's laminated to the hat.
Oh wow,
they're super nice.
This got boring really quickly.
Yeah.
This got boring really quickly.
What do you?
No, that was listen. If you're a small business owner, it's good to know. Pay attention to the small details.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Like the fact that I'm looking the wrong direction when I'm looking at you on the video. It's the tiny
you
details
got so many
that matter.
cameras and shit in here. I don't even know what is happening.
It's supposed to be on the TV, but Dennis, the tech guy, is. He's not having a good day. Let's put it that way.
You know, I say A+ for like all the technology in here.
Right.
Like C- for cable management. Just
that stung a little bit. That stung a little bit. Listen, there's nothing for you to trip over. I can't help it if you slapped yourself in the face.
Because I just killed myself with the freaking mic and the cord here.
That was on video.
I mean,
and it was very apparent that
apparently your cable tray is not even containing the cable. It's a hazard.
Your head,
I'm calling OSHA,
is large enough.
I think I got their number here.
That you had to pull the headphones apart so far before you could. All right, I'm giving up.
I mean, should we at least get his name?
Nah.
Whose name? What?
Yeah, exactly.
The hobo on the couch over there.
Oh, well, he's I was going to say he's your friend.
WKRP Montrose.
You introduced me to him. And
Tim, how you been, man?
Great.
Adrenaline Vans.
AF.
I bet.
Yeah.
People come from all over the freaking world.
They do.
To come to Montrose.
Yes.
Okay.
Canada. A lot of people from Canada now. Florida, right?
Uh-huh.
But we've had people travel
country.
from Switzerland.
Right.
And come to us. Not specifically just for us, but they came from Switzerland to the U.S. and happened to be here and happened to stop by. So I say we're worldwide now.
Yeah.
But
Adrenaline worldwide.
Were they just visiting? Or did they ship a van over or something?
No, they had a big overland truck. And they're just touring the world. I mean, literally all the continents.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
And so when they came in, did they come in because you do customizations, but you also do service?
Yeah, so they had a big Mercedes diesel truck, like a massive overland vehicle. Not many people service that stuff, so we serviced it for them. But
there are people that come from large distances to bring their vehicle to you to customize. So Destination Montrose to check out Adrenaline Vans.
Crazy how key the destination part of our service is, because if we were in Houston, it wouldn't work.
Right.
People would be coming from Texas, and that's probably about it.
Right.
But because we're here, I mean, every single week I get people from Florida, Georgia area coming up, people from the Northeast coming out, Canada, both ends of Canada. Mm-hmm. It's awesome. So it's because the mountains are here.
Do we want Canadians and Floridians and Georgians to like discover Montrose?
Does the check clear?
Hey, Dennis, where's your wife born again?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Where were you raised again?
She was.
All right.
Wait, what do you mean? What are you trying to say?
All the places you just named.
Right.
Do we want Canadians? Oh, yeah, my wife. Do we want people from the South? I'm from the South.
Yeah. Do you want me here? I would like that. Would have felt like a perfect opportunity for you to go. Like,
I'm not entirely
Dennis,
sure.
I think you have a point.
I'm not entirely sure. You would be missed at the very end when I need someone to press that big red button.
Oh, well, that's a good point,
dude. That mixing board thing's pretty cool. I need that. I've got just the little handheld.
I'm not allowed to press all the really fun buttons. No. Rob doesn't let me press those.
You
can press them.
Go press them. Buttons where
they're muted right now. You'd have to unmute them, but then you could press them. I'll let you press them. Rob can't stop you.
We'll do that later. I want to ask. So people come here for the mountains and they find you, or they come here, you know, they know you, they want to get their van serviced, and they're like, well, I could get it serviced in a couple of places, but I'm going to go there because they also have this other stuff. Is it a combination of the two?
Yeah, I think a lot of people that are doing the kind of services we offer on the vans, the upgrades we do, they do a lot of research before they do it. They really just dive in on YouTube and do the deep dive on the internet of, oh yeah, what should I do to my van? There's quite a support network online to show people what they can do. And so they dive into it and they're like, okay, cool. Here's the players in the industry. Here's the shops that we got Agile, we got Adrenaline, we got Owl, whatever it is. Right. And so they start looking at these shops and then they go, oh, Adrenaline, that's near Telluride. That's in the mountains. That's in Western Colorado. And then as soon as they do a little bit of reading on it, they're like, oh shit, we're going there because we can do all the cool stuff to our van and then immediately go drive it in the mountains or go to the desert. Yeah. All of the above.
If all things are equal between you and a few other shops, they go, the factor that pushes them over the edge
it's the destination. Like you could come here or you could drive to Santee, California. Right. Or you could go to Aurora or like the Front Range. So, I mean, there's shops all over the country, that do what we do. It's not that special. Right. Yeah, our service is, top of the line. What we offer is premium. But, yeah, all things being equal, the destination it's so key.
And when you say they can go use it, like, right then. So, like, you go get it done in Aurora, you still got an hour drive up 70 to get up into the mountains to do
anywhere.
Anything. Yeah, to do anything.
At least an hour.
Right. But you go out of your shop, take a right.
Yep.
You're staring at the mountains right away. There.
Yeah.
Right?
We did some drone footage of the shop a couple weeks ago. And just, you see the shop and then the camera pans up and it's just the sand lawns just covered in snow. It's incredible.
This time of year is particularly amazing, right? It's spring. Mountains still have a ton of snow on them, but everything's greening up. It's just incredible.
Yeah. But then from an hour, just to stay on that point, because it's kind of cool. Then from an hour from here, for those people that are coming, like you've got the Adobes in one direction.
Yep.
So that's a whole different kind of terrain.
It's like being on a different planet, right? Almost.
And then we got the Uncompahgre Plateau.
Yeah, in the summertime it's phenomenal because you can go all the way over. From here you can drive 6 miles on asphalt, and then you can get on the rim rocker and go
all the way to Moab,
clear off-road, 4-wheel drive only type road, all the way to Moab. Yep. Through the LaSalle's, clear to Moab, and then you're in Red Rock. Canyon country. It's incredible. Yeah. Where else can you go do that? Like get stuff installed and immediately just put it to the test. A great example, we had a guy drive out from Minnesota, did an air locker, did a bunch of other upgrades. And we always tell people, hey, you need to put 500 to 1,000 miles on this locker and then we'll service it with fresh oil and then you're good to go. Like a break-in period. Mm-hmm. And most people will drive all the way home and they'll have a shop there do it. Well, this guy's like, yeah, we're going to go drive it around for a couple of days and we'll be back and we'll have you service it. Okay, cool. So they come back 3 days later, big smile on their face. I'm like, how was it? And he goes, oh, it's awesome. We went up to Ouray. We aired down. We didn't air back up for 3 days, put 400 and some miles on it, aired down off-road the entire time. And I mean, his van was just covered in mud. He was showing me pictures and video of them like going through massive puddles. And like, it was pretty cool because they were so pumped on not only on what we did, but also their whole experience. Right. It was a full trip for their family to, it was a vacation. Sure. They spent money and they supported local businesses and all that, but they had an incredible time. And now every year they come back, every summer they come back and do something and make a trip out of it. Yeah. You're not going to find that in Texas or Kansas or something like that. No.
I guess, so the next question is like, again, it's this chicken and the egg thing, right? Like you were in Montrose. I mean, how long has Adrenaline Vans been going and how long have you been here? So we get
4 years it's been going. Right. And I moved down here. I moved the business down here in late June of 2020. Right. From Grand Junction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, is it precisely for those reasons? I mean, I'm sure there are other business reasons.
The reason I moved it down was for the building. Our mutual friend Steve had a building available to lease right next door. Right. And he's like, hey, we can get you in this building. It's pretty reasonably priced. Why don't you move down and then we can work together side by side and start this business? And I was like, Montrose? Right. This small town. Junction was already pretty small compared to where I was, had been working in Denver for the most part. So I was like, Junction's, you know, kind of a small town, but Montrose is
super
like
small.
Town. It's small.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm so glad we ended up here because, you know, the customers from Telluride and then the access to that kind of terrain is so much better. And nobody from Telluride, as you know, nobody from Telluride is going to drive any further than Montrose. Like
Right.
you're driving here and that's it. Right. They're not going to Grand Junction.
Yeah, because at that point, if you're going to go to Grand Junction, you might as well take it to Denver or someplace else where I'm not going to say that you're going to get better service, but
everything is more readily
the accessibility
available.
exactly to things is going to be a lot better. So, okay, every time I see one of your vans, and this is not going to be, even though we have video, and maybe if I do in the post edit, we can put some pictures of Adrenaline vans in it as well. But
how many vans do you have right now?
Do I own?
Well, the business, because you bought one recently, right? Didn't you buy another one recently?
So last summer.
Yeah.
I mean, I have 3 show vehicles right now for
right.
the business.
Right.
2 vans and a Grenadier.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's the most recent edition, right?
Yeah, that's what I brought today.
Oh, okay.
It's cool. And then, on any given day, we'll have anywhere from 8 to 16 vans at the shop.
Right.
On any given day.
Really?
Some of those are VIP customers that we store their vehicles for them. We have 9 storage customers. So this garage club is what we call it. It's our VIP storage facility. So we do that. Any given day, we'll have somewhere between 3 and 9 vehicles here for that exclusively.
Yeah.
And then the workflow on most days we'll have at least, you know, in the main shop we'll have 4 to 8 vans, you know, either in the shop or in the queue waiting to go in.
And one of them,
so it's
jamming.
I should say, one of them is the most ridiculous kind of paint job. I mean, it's great, but it's like, it's camo, but it would be the worst camo ever because it's, what is it? It's pink and green. And
it's magenta and
lime
green, like a Kawasaki lime green,
So
and then a chartreuse, like a bright neon yellow.
Chartreuse, get the fuck out of here.
So this is a perfect segue. The first thing, when we were talking about having you come on the show, the first thing that I thought about it was like, okay, he's exhibit.
Right.
He's pimp
Exhibit.
your pimp your ride
Pimp your van.
and pimp your van in Montrose, Colorado.
Yeah.
And then I thought, oh shit, like we're close to Telluride, and the vehicles that you're working on, yes, you're pimping them out in a really specific type of way.
Right.
And it ain't cheap.
No.
It ain't cheap to do.
No.
So when you say VIP, like, are there any VIPs that you can talk about that you're willing to say?
A bunch of your friends. I mean, I'm sure you know them all because you guys work together on the, you know, in the professional realm. But we've got a couple that they're awesome. I don't know what I want to say here because I don't know how many of these people are watching this.
That's true. Don't say anything that you don't want somebody to hear.
Exactly.
Okay.
But you know how in anywhere you go in the world, you got people with lots of money, right? And of those people with lots of money, you've got really freaking cool people that could just be like you and I, just friends. And then you've also got assholes.
Yeah.
And there's assholes in every walk of life, but it
ones
seems
are the
like
worst.
it's very, you know, like you have 2 different kinds of people in that financial realm. They're either cool as shit or they're a nightmare to deal
The
with.
richer the more wealthy you get, the harder it is to keep your humility and not have expectations.
Yes.
It seems.
That's what it seems.
I haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
That's why
I checked my balance today,
yeah.
and I could afford to put gas in the car, so
That's
we're good.
why
but,
I've maintained my financial status towards the bottom of the
so you could
barrel.
stay.
So I can stay humble.
Yeah,
yeah. I'm worried about what
when
I
I
would
think
do
of
if
humble,
I had-
pretty much your face comes to mind. You know,
I'm concerned about what I might be like if I had lots of money.
But
I don't know if we've done enough episodes for people to feel the sarcasm that was in there. They did hear the nose snort, which was perfect timing.
Yes.
But we had Scott and Taylor in from the Campers Hub, and Rob was at it, and I asked him. I said, would you guys volunteer to be the rope holders for Rob? And they kind of looked at me like, what? I was like, the Macy Day Parade rope holders. His fucking ego gets big enough, that head gets large enough. He's just going to float right out of the studio. Yeah.
The irony of you talking about large heads. People can see this video.
Well, that's true. That is true.
I mean, it's you've been stung by a giant.
Do you need like on the mirror of the car where it says objects in mirror maybe larger than they appear, closer than they appear?
Yeah, I need one the opposite.
The
to
opposite.
shrink it down to normal size. Yeah.
All right. So next episode, when you guys see Rob being like really tiny in the corner of the screen, You'll know why.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he's
because
got like
Dennis-
this Snapchat like character face. You
No,
know,
it'll be because Dennis doesn't know what he's doing with this.
He didn't want to be.
That's
He
why.
did not want to do video. He did not want to do
I
video.
still don't.
And
why would you not want to do video?
I still
no,
don't.
who wants to watch or listen to a podcast without video? Like you gotta, even if you're listening to it, you want to have the option to look because if it's a funny conversation or very interesting, everybody wants to. Like I do it with Spotify. I listen to Rogan or whoever the hell I'm listening to, and I'm like, oh, this guest he has is really interesting, or that was freaking hilarious. Like, what does this guy look like?
You
And
want to
I'll
see
look
the
at it
reaction
and go, oh, dude, that's funny as shit.
Yeah.
And I'll lock the phone again and continue listening. But having the option to view, I think, is huge. I think.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I'm no expert. I mean,
But
I have more podcasts live than you guys.
You're
so.
You're 4 for. He's 4 for 4 against him.
Wait,
You know what,
So
Tim's
you're just
I'm gonna
stacking
try and-
content right now, and then you're gonna publish it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to try and wipe that smile off his face. Tell us about the times you've rolled your vans.
Just once so far.
Just once?
Yeah.
When was it? This past winter? Wasn't it?
2 winters ago.
Oh.
So it's been a year and
So Tim,
4 months.
you live the life too. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Right? You're not just a grease monkey. You actually take
I
these
think-
things
I actually
out.
don't even really get to work in the shop anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
He's one of those.
I'm just one of
he's
those-
a pencil pusher now. He's
Yeah,
up in
it's
the office,
pretty lame.
Looking
Yeah.
out over the minions working for him.
You're
I
the
do.
face. You're the face. It's
Yeah.
important to be the face.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Imagine that face on your business.
And what a face,
Jesus.
right? God.
It's not the
Listen.
face. It's not the face. It's the mullet.
I don't
Yeah.
want. Well,
He's the mullet of the business.
if I'm gonna have a clean cut, what am I gonna have? A clean cut banker put like customized,
No.
like
No, you're going to go to the guy with the backwards hat and
fabricated.
mullet
Yeah.
and a
The
big
guy with the
pink
mullet
van.
is fabricating
Yeah.
the right
The
shit.
guy,
Yeah.
the guy who has first-hand experience and onto how to roll a van.
But
He
to
can-
your
he can
point,
tell
yeah,
you
he's
how
also going to
not
be the
do
guy
that.
that's like, here, hold my beer. Watch this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I really
I'm pretty
have
sure.
truly leveraged that
Yeah,
for my brand, and it has worked really, really well.
Yeah.
But the beauty of all that is that it's actually me. Like I couldn't be more authentically me.
Yeah.
So the personality that people see on like my podcast or on my videos
Right.
or at expos or whatever, when customers come in, I am that same person.
Yeah.
And that's what I hear constantly people really appreciate.
Yeah.
Because you do see, we've all seen a lot of people on the internet that
Right.
have a great personality on camera. And they're so cool, whatever, they're funny, they're hilarious. And you meet him in person, you're like, that guy's a fucking dick.
yeah.
Like, or he's not funny at all. He's not
Or
fun.
Sometimes you go, oh, he's a dick on that podcast, and
Yeah,
I
then
met
you
him,
meet
and
him
you
in
go,
person, you're like,
he lives
"Ah."
up to the hype. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, we're the same. I feel like if you've ever met Dennis or I mean,
What? That we're both dicks?
well, no,
Yeah.
we're both. However you perceive us on this podcast, that's what we're like in real life.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
And it's mostly because I don't have the energy, or I simply don't care enough to bullshit people and script this thing.
Who scripts a podcast, anyways?
I'm sure.
You seem like you do.
He
'Cause
wanted
you-
to.
'cause
He
I was
wanted
like, hey,
to.
do you want to be on my podcast? And he's like, yeah. How long is it going to be? Like 20 minutes? And I was like,
Yeah.
no, it's like 2.5 hours.
I know exactly.
He's like, no, I'm out. What are we
I
going
mean-
to talk
Really?
about?
He
I'm
said
like,
no?
Yeah, he said no.
I didn't say
I invited
no,
him on
no.
like 4 times now.
I'm pretty sure.
And this asshole's like, no.
I
nah.
mean, finding 2.5 hours. That's a lot.
Okay.
You gotta
It's
do
a
it at
lot.
like 8 o'clock at night, and you just start drinking beers. And then
Listen.
next thing you know,
He likes to. Here's the thing. He likes to create that perception
that
of
he's
got
really
shit to
busy.
do.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm really busy. My cat needs let out.
Churchill is.
He needs to be fed. I mean, shit. I mean,
Jesus.
you have children, Dennis. You know what it's like.
He might be like the what was the killer in the 80s that had the dog that thought he talked to him like that. I could see Rob
Yeah.
being at home
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
to Churchill, like having
Planning
really
the world's demise.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not even
All
in
right.
charge.
All right, Churchill. So here's the plan. He's got a fucking whiteboard in the room with red yarn.
going back and forth.
Hey,
Absolutely.
I don't want to have to say this, and I've said this to everyone so far.
Uh-oh.
This dynamic is not working for me right now, where you two assholes team up.
Yeah, well,
he doesn't-
You're the idiot that invited me to your show, bro. I don't know what you're expecting.
All right, we'll get. Hold on, I'll get the train back on the tracks.
Yeah, okay.
So part of the show is supposed to be talking about like, hey, what are some really cool things going on in Montrose?
Yeah.
What's happening? Who are the really cool people that are involved in it? So
Right.
we've talked about what makes you cool from a business standpoint. We were starting with the what makes you cool, hold my beer moments type of thing,
Right.
and rolling an off-road van.
He rolled a beautiful van.
Right.
It was, yeah, I mean, it was a beautiful van.
I mean,
for sure.
it was funny
So-
after obviously nobody got hurt, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's hilarious!"
Yeah.
And you had to be,
I mean,
Can we
it
tell the
wasn't
story
funny in the
quickly?
moment.
No, but if I remember correctly, you were like trying to let somebody pass.
Yeah.
kind of
So
thing, and
the story that most people on the internet tell is that I was drifting my $250,000 van, in the wintertime and
How the fuck
going fast and
could you
roll
drift
the
a
van.
van?
well,
I wasn't. That's the
Okay.
deal.
but you look at him and you go, he drifts back.
Yeah, the guy was hooning around for sure. But the reality is we were, it's middle of winter and just out for a Sunday drive. I was actually going out to take photos of the van, like to show it off. And I ended up taking photos of the van on its side.
On its side.
Yeah.
It's a different perspective. Yeah.
County Road 1, and it's kind of, it's windy in a few spots where it turns to dirt. So it was a windy section of road. Actually, it was right before it turns to dirt, if you're familiar with that spot up there by Log Hill. Mm-hmm. And there was a, like a S curve, basically. They had just plowed the road. So the road looked really wide. Because the way they just drop the plow and it throws snow off the side of the road. So it looked wide. There's a car coming towards us with an old couple in it. We're doing like 25 miles an hour. So I move over to the right-hand side of the road because they're kind of in the middle of the road. And I'm like, we've got lots of room. Like there's tons of room on the shoulder. And I could feel the front end just go dip. And it was the front tire just dropped off the asphalt.
So the plow had built up like a little snow platform.
It just flattened it all, so it just looked wide. So the front tire just goes boop, and then the rear goes boop, and then I'm turning the wheel, and I walked it with the state trooper afterwards, and we measured it. It was like 150 feet, where you could see the tires just like polishing the edge of that asphalt as the road is curving, and the ass end of the van just starts coming around, and it's steep there. Yeah. So after 150 feet or so, it was like, oh, we're going in the ditch. We're for sure going in the ditch and probably rolling. So right at the last minute, I tried to turn into it to like hopefully keep it upright. Yeah. And we were doing about 10 miles an hour at the time that it actually tipped over. And it was just slow motion, just like Jackie was in the van at the time, and she's like, yeah, I remember watching the drinks in the cup holders like come out of that cup holders in slow motion, and then boom, airbags go off. Oh shit! And it was just a freaking disaster because all my shit in the back, I had so much stuff in the back of that thing, was upside down, and it's so disorienting because the van, it tipped on its side, but it was so steep, so it was way over just 90 degrees. It was really laying on its side with the bottom up in the air. So everything was basically upside down in the back. And it's so disorienting. I've spent like 30 minutes trying to find my wallet so I could show the cop my driver's license. And I could never find it. No, it's on the never found it. I finally found it like hours later back at the shop.
So to the average person, when you say you've got a lot of stuff in the back, that can mean a lot of different things for you.
You mean tools?
I mean, it could be
dirt bikes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the time I didn't have any toys. I just had all my gear. And then a lot of tools. Right. So like a lot of...
Still a lot of... could be a lot of weight right there.
There's a lot of weight. The van was super heavy for sure. But the big thing was I had a big toolbox in there full of tools. I had a galley in there with water in it. So like water's just pouring down from the galley, like as the van's upside down, onto all of my shit. Like all my... It was wintertime, so I had all my ski gear in there, like my snowmobile clothes and gears all hanging, and yeah, it was just a mess.
So what I think makes this a tiny bit funnier is presumably the old couple just like poodled along.
They did.
Like, look at that nice young man.
She like
off to the side of the road.
She's like watching.
Did they stop?
And I go boop. Yeah, they stopped.
They saw you
stopped
tip.
and actually like had Jackie get in their car and warm up and everything. But they were like, "Oh my God, we're so sorry. What happened?" And I'm
you
like,
were driving in the middle of the fucking road.
That's what? Out of your way. They're like, and this lady. I wish I had her quote like saved so I could play it for people that like insist I was being a jerk. She's like, yeah, it was like slow motion. I've never seen anybody crash so slowly. Like, the fuck? It's not even funny. It kind of hurt a little.
That must have hurt.
It kind of hurt a little.
Because you have had some higher speed crashes.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Back in the day when I remember I met your dad once.
Yeah.
And you used to ride bikes.
Yeah, race super bikes. Yeah.
Right? So you know what it's like to crash at high speed.
For sure. And so this was the most anticlimactic...
Yeah. It's basically
stupid.
It's embarrassing
accident.
For you, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
wow.
But I just leveraged it. It's all good. Yeah. Just lean into it.
Funny.
Yeah.
So Dennis mentioned a minute ago that part of the idea for this is the why you're in Montrose, what do you do here and all that stuff. But when you're not filing paperwork,
right?
What do you do? Where do you go? What do you like about this area? And that's recreation, eating, drinking, all that stuff. And feel free to say what you think, not what you don't like, but what could be improved. It's important that people hear that, I think, too.
Yeah, for fun, I do all the outdoor stuff, motorsports related primarily. So I go ride dirt bikes a lot this time of year and in the summer. And as the weather warms up and the snow line goes up higher, we'll go do a lot more driving and riding up high. So you kind of, this time of year, you start off in the desert, like riding the Adobes. And then as things thaw, you kind of move up Spring Creek and then get way up on the Uncompahgre and kind of follow the snow line to stay cool.
Right.
So that's what I do this time of year. In the winter, I do a lot of snowmobiling, a little bit of skiing, but I mostly just snowmobile these days. And obviously, Telluride is right here. There's the San Juans, the Grand Mesa, the world's largest flat top mountain. I mean, you can just ride out there forever. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I do for fun. I also work on cars. Like all my cars, you know, I got a lot of project cars.
What's the old one you have? Is it?
That's
Jag?
a '59. No, it's Mercedes.
Oh, the Mercedes.
Yeah, it's Mercedes.
People can see all this stuff on your Instagram account, right?
Yeah,
so
for sure. My at Adrenaline Vans or at Asphalt Boy. That's my personal. That's where I have more of my car shit.
Asphalt Boy.
Yeah, Asphalt Boy.
And what about in town? I mean, and this podcast isn't specific to Montrose necessarily. It's the Uncompahgre Valley and Uray Ridgeway Delta as well, if you want. But
well, you mentioned the Grand Mesa. I mean, I think that's one of the secrets of the area.
It really is.
That people don't like when they come out here, because even if you're headed up that way, a lot of people are headed to Powderhorn.
Yes. But or, you know, what I find is customers will say, oh, we're going to go to the Black Canyon, which is incredible. You should absolutely go see the Black Canyon. But I would say if you're going to go camp somewhere, go to the Mesa.
Yeah.
It's way more fun.
It's like the land of lakes up there, too.
There's thousands of lakes or hundreds?
Hundreds.
For sure, hundreds of lakes.
Definitely hundreds. Who maintains it up there? Is it Forest Service or BLM?
It's National Forest, yeah.
It's National Forest.
On the top, yeah.
Kind of, fewer restrictions than national parks too, I think.
Yeah, it for sure. And a lot more freedom for dispersed camping and such. You can kind of go drive up there and then find anywhere you want to camp and just pull off and camp. In a van, it's easy, right? Because it's just so low impact.
Yeah. And there's a public lands office in Montrose. You can go there and ask them about this stuff, and they'll tell you, where you can and can't
same with the Uncompahgre. I mean, there's so much terrain up there to cover and so many areas to explore and drive and camp, and that's kind of just a hidden gem. I mean, that place is awesome too.
Yeah.
All right, so Rob doesn't let us do 2-hour podcasts.
Okay,
what the hell, dude?
We
I feel rushed.
I do want to ask him again about, because I don't see you out that often.
No, so I used to get to socialize a little bit more.
Yeah.
Then we expanded and built a new building,
right,
which requires a certain amount of growth as a business,
right,
to sustain that. And we've been adding to our staff, growing, trying to do it strategically and carefully to bring on the right people. So it's getting better. We've got a killer shop team, but all in, it still requires a lot of me personally there. And then what really changed the most is that I built an apartment at the shop. So I live at work. So I have no need to drive through town like I used to. I used to live on the north end, so I had to drive through town.
What did you used to do when you drove through town?
Yeah, I drove through town and hit people with the train horn. It was great. But I could drive through on a Friday night, and you see your drunk asshole friends walking around and like, fuck it, I'll stop and have a beer. Now that doesn't really happen, so I have to be very intentional if I do leave the shop on where I'm going to go. So I do go to Pomona a fair bit, mostly because Beatrice works there, and so I go see her. But it's usually not on a Friday night. It's usually like a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon. So I'll go there for beverages, or I'll go out to eat, but not much.
Where do you go?
Dude,
it's the one thing we lack in this town. I think it's fair to say most people agree that we don't have as many choices as perhaps most of us would like. But
right, so
where do you choose?
Yeah, so Stonehouse, Me Mexico, Amelia's, the Italian place over at Colorado Outdoors. I do like going there. It's actually great food and reasonably priced.
Yeah,
and then I'll do Colorado Boy on occasion.
Yeah,
and the Thai place, Shanghai. But that's about it. So 9 times out of 10. It's Me Mexico.
Me Mexico with the fresh made tortillas.
Yeah, the fresh made tortillas and the mushroom salad.
Oh yeah,
people love that.
Freaking good.
I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Oh my god,
it's the only place that has like this. Mushroom
usually you'll have like a typical kind of Mexican coleslaw at a lot of these places.
Yep.
But they have it with mushrooms.
Yeah,
and jalapenos.
It's fantastic. And for Tim, it's actually it's pretty much the opposite end of town. I know it's not far,
but it's
you drive
worth,
past
I
a
do.
dozen Mexican
I drive,
restaurants to get there.
Yeah, there's like at last count, I think 14 Mexican restaurants
right past,
in town.
like El Jimador and several others just to get to Mi
Fiesta
Mexico.
Guadalajara. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Tacos and beer.
Yeah.
El Gordo tacos. Have you gone there yet?
I haven't.
That's good. The little strip mall.
Yeah.
On Main.
I mean, it's all pretty good. Let's be honest. I really haven't found like a bad Mexican restaurant in town.
No.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay, how about the new Mexican
Amelia's.
sushi place? You guys try that out?
Mexican sushi.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Where?
Which place is that?
You're making that shit up.
No, swear to God.
All right.
It's right next to Nico's, which is maybe the first red flag.
No. I've been in there. It's
It's not sushi though.
Yes.
No, they offer sushi too.
Yeah, they have.
Really?
It's like taco sushi.
Silano, Silano.
It's named after I forget what it's called. It's a state in Mexico. What's it called? I'm gonna have to find it because if we're gonna talk about them. I went there once. I didn't have sushi. I just had some straight up Mexican food. So it was good.
So you guys think what are we lacking in town?
More choice in terms
for
of
restaurants,
I think,
or for beverages, like bars and stuff.
Yeah, some of the suggestions have been in the previous episodes. Like we don't have like a true deli, like a Cat's Deli or something like that. Sandwiches, breakfast spots.
Yeah, breakfast is I would say if I was going to complain about anything, it would be a lack of breakfast options. The cabin, you have the cabin, you have Nico's. Neither of those are great. Not Nico's. Mimo's, sorry.
Mimo's. I was about to say, if you're having breakfast at Nico's.
And then you have Denny's. Which nobody's going to go to
Starvin'
Denny's.
Arvin's.
And then you have Starvin' Arvin's. Really, the only good food is Starvin' Arvin's.
Yeah.
Then you have Blue Corn, which is a really cool vibe. I love the vibe when you walk into Blue Corn. My shop is very similar, right? Black ceiling, music, and all that. But the food is not that amazing, and there's very little variety, and it's really expensive.
Yeah.
And I feel like Montrose is not quite ready for
No.
Well,
that's the biggest problem in town.
I'm gonna argue. They have an almond Danish that's fantastic. And then when they do the green chili in their quiche, totally worth it.
Is it all baked in house? They
do all that stuff there. The other one that we're forgetting to mention, and I think we brought it up on another episode, but I just don't want to leave Scott and Debbie out, is the bagel shop. Backstreet Bagels.
Is
the green chili bagel at Backstreet Bagels.
Yeah.
Is
So
like one
what
of my
I
favorites.
find is I do like Backstreet Bagels.
Yeah.
But to go into town for breakfast is tough for me, and I'm not driving all the way through freaking town just for that. So if I go into town for a quick breakfast or send somebody into town to grab the shop breakfast, literally this morning we had Donnie G's.
Yeah.
Because it's close to the shop.
Donnie
It's
Roberto's.
cheap and it's good.
Yeah.
So
It's
good. Breakfast burrito.
Food. Breakfast burrito.
Yeah.
Have you gone to Ladybird's yet?
No.
Since it's right up the street from you?
Ladybirds.
In Kelowna.
Oh, in Kelowna. Oh, yeah.
That's
no, I
super
saw
good.
they were open. I did a test drive out there the other day, and I saw they said they were open.
Yeah, so they have a pulled pork burrito that's pretty excellent in the morning. I like that place out there. Anyway, we're disproving our point when we say that there's no breakfast places. And then we name it.
You're right.
Yes and no. I mean, yes, we are, but like you talk about pulled pork burrito, sounds amazing, but there's a lot of burrito. There's a lot of either Mexican or Mexican style.
Sunrise burrito.
Yeah, and they're great.
It's good.
Sunrise are great too, but a little bit of more variety. But,
All right.
Sinaloa is the name of the place next to Nico's.
That was right. Sinalo, right?
Hey.
Is that a state in Mexico?
It is a state in Mexico.
Okay.
I think it's also the name of a cartel.
Wow.
That checks.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Let's quickly move on from that.
Yes.
Yeah. So, 2 questions real quick.
Yeah.
Since most of this, we're talking about you don't come into town and you're working on these amazing vehicles, and a lot of times you're going out camping.
Yes.
All right. Protein of choice or like food of choice when you're out camping, and cocktail of choice when you're out camping.
Yeah. Margarita for sure.
Okay. What tequila
He's
do
a
you
margarita boy.
What tequila do you use?
Espolón usually.
All right. Okay.
For a margarita, because I don't want to spend too much money. I'm not doing Don Julio 1942 in a margarita.
And you're not.
I like to sip tequila, don't get me wrong, but if I'm going to do a cocktail,
Okay.
I'll do a margarita.
I mean, I feel obligated at this point to point out that we do have a distillery in town.
Yeah, we do.
Storm King. And
Storm
they
King,
have an
great
agave,
whiskey.
not a tequila, technically.
Yeah, and I'll be totally honest, I don't love it. So I don't if I go to Storm King, I have something else. I'll have like a gin drink or I'll have a whiskey or something.
Well, their side gig whiskey is like
Yeah,
That would
it
be
won a bunch of awards.
Yeah, they just won.
amazing.
They won lots of awards. We're going to have Dave on here at some point.
Yeah, we should.
And he can tell you how shitty he thinks your vans are.
That's great. I'll tell him how shitty his tequila is.
It's
Also, I've been talking to him for 4 years, and he still hasn't brought me anything to put in the showroom.
There you go.
And I'm like,
Dave,
dude,
you're on notice. You're being called out.
And by the way, Dave, Leno Dubois has sold me cases and cases and cases of wine to give to customers. So,
Right.
Dave, get your shit together.
And Lee, we're going
shots
to have
fired.
Lee on as well. Yeah, winery here
Yeah.
in Montrose. Yeah, shots fired. We're going to send
All right,
a
Dave,
clip.
if you're out there, which I know you are, and you 970-316-3162. If we can't get you in the studio, at least leave a message.
Yeah.
We'll play it back for play it back for Tim at some point.
Yes.
Dude, I mean, we just did call-in guests on my last pod.
Yeah.
Which was pretty fun. I got to get the audio dialed a little bit better.
Yeah.
He won't let me do live stream. I want to live stream this.
Oh,
stuff.
I'm down.
Yeah. See?
Don't be a pussy, dude.
Oh.
Carry on.
And your response?
Yeah, see?
I'm above you.
Boom.
I don't
Mic
need
drop.
I don't need to
Yeah.
respond to this shit.
Yeah.
What else are you
right.
going to say? You had people calling in. Yeah, it was good fun.
No, yeah, that was it. Yeah, people called in, and it kind of brought another aspect to the show, which was fun. It was a fun dynamic. We actually did we had 2 other people call in at the same time. So we had 4 people on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time.
I don't need more than, I mean, there's 2 of you ganging up on me at
Yeah.
certain points.
No,
here. I don't
well,
need
don't be
more
scared.
people ganging up on me.
Yeah. Step up.
Rob, I'm not ganging up on you. Just other people are agreeing with the idea that
That's
you don't
exactly
like.
what I mean. When somebody agrees with you, I consider that to be ganging up on me.
Rob goes onto Facebook only to hear people affirm the things that he
Yeah,
already thinks.
he goes into Facebook to find Rob's little echo chamber.
There we go.
Right. And it's just like,
Now that was picking on you, Rob.
Yeah.
That was ganging up.
Yeah,
on
let's
you
wrap
there.
this shit up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Tim, man, it was awesome to have
Yeah,
you in
thanks
the
for having me.
studio. I know it feels rushed.
feels rushed. What-
Yeah,
Is
it's
this,
Yeah,
this
'cause
is
it's
like
not-
national
it's not-
television. This is
it's
like
not-
a Fox News. Like you've got 3
It
minutes
is
to get your
nothing
point
like
in.
Fox
Go.
News. No, it's not 3
You
hours.
watch Fox News every day. Don't lie. Come on, you love it. He watches it to get pissed every day,
Yeah.
so then he can go like take on the world. He just watches like 3 minutes of Fox News. And
That's
he's all
all it-
fired up.
that's
He
all
does
it-
get-
and then
that's
all
all
day
it
long he's
takes.
on fire.
That's
man.
all
He's
it
just-
takes.
Yeah.
3
gotta-
minutes of dumbasses talking about dumb shit.
If you've ever listened to him talk to his landlord,
Oh, jeez.
it's freaking hysterical.
Let's not go there. Absolutely, we're not going there. Wrap it up.
We should have him on the pod.
That would be great.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll get your dad on here.
All right.
I'm down.
WKRP.
All right.
Tim, thanks for coming to
having
join
me.
us.
See ya.
All right. Bye.